Welcome to Bouts and Stouts. This is your podcast for fighting and drinking beers on Sunday. Day after the fights, we're going to get some recap for you guys. I know some people get bummed out on Sundays because they got to work the next day. There's no more fights. And I'm here to spice it up a little bit and give you some hot takes on fighting because I love fighting and I love drinking beer. So I said, fuck it. Let's come up with a podcast that combines the two. So I'm excited to start this. This is my first episode, and I'm excited to see where this takes us. So obviously we had a good fight last night. We had the Wilder fights. Talk about the dismantling of Deontay Wilder by Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. He came in on the throne, and he left on the throne. He said he was going to do. He said he was going to knock him out, and he knocked him out. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about UFC Auckland. What a show. What a show the main event put on. That's the reason I love UFC. That's the reason I watch the sport. That main event just exemplified everything I love about the sport. We're going to talk about that. Was the decision correct? We'll see. And we got that. We got our picks for next week in UFC Virginia, UFC Norfolk. Trying to make you guys some money. Hopefully I don't lose you guys. If you guys trust me, we will see. We got the Bouts and Stouts world title fight. You guys are probably like, what the hell is that? I'm going to talk to you. Violent Bob Ross in the mix. We got our featured beer of the week coming at you from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We're going to talk about some people I didn't really appreciate what they did in the weeks past, and obviously some current events. I'm happy. I'm very excited, and thank you for listening. So now we got Wilder Fury. I just watched the fight again, and what a just pure freaking form of boxing. I used to be a hater on boxing. I used to think it was a limited sport of combat, but last night showed me the beauty of it. Fury came in. He was the taller fighter. Wilder obviously has got that right hand. He's got that one shot, one fight ender hand, and Fury said, fuck your right hand. I'm coming in, and I'm going to give you my right hand. And Wilder just seemed a little caught off guard because every time Wilder wanted to set something up, because he's a long fighter, so he'll stay on the outside. And Fury said, fuck you, I'm going in your face, fucking you, because Wilder's got that, I think it's something crazy along the lines of 40 wins, 40 knockouts. He has like one, there's only been one fight where he didn't knock the dude out, and then he knocked him out in the rematch in round one. So Fury's like facing this absolute killer of Wilder, and he said, fuck you, I'm gonna knock your bitch ass out, and that's exactly what he did. So there was no point in the fight where Fury was in danger, and I think that led up to Fury's confidence, because the entire pre-fight Fury was talking about, if I lose to Deontay Wilder, I'm a bum. I'll go down as a bum. And I don't know, Fury's just a freaking warrior, freaking gypsy voodoo fucking assassin, and it made me like boxing. It made me want to know what the hell is going to happen. I used to be pure MMA, but now I want to know, is Fury going to fight Joshua? If I were him, I'd fight Joshua, because Joshua to me is not very challenging in the way where Wilder and Fury are. I feel like Joshua is always number 3, but Joshua kind of acts like he's number 1, and I never really got that because you really got pieced up by Andy Ruiz, and I wasn't that impressed with the rematch of the Ruiz. I wanted to see a little more, but we'll see. He was a smart fighter. But back to Fury. I know they're talking about rematches with Wilder, but I don't want to see that. I mean, he literally took him to school, taught him a couple lessons, let him go to recess, brought him back, pieced his ass up a little bit. Deontay Wilder took the pop quiz, failed. And here we are. Fury left on the throne, and Wilder, I mean, class act. Very nice guy. I love them both. But I don't want to really see the rematch right now. I love to see some Wilder Joshua. Let Fury sit on his laurels real quick. I love to see Wilder Joshua because Joshua was dodging Wilder. And now that he's not really foreseen as this unstoppable force, I think that's a good matchup. If Joshua really is the boxer that he says he is, maybe we get Wilder. Maybe Wilder has the comeback, knocks out Joshua. We see Fury now. Maybe I'd get in the rematch with Fury if Wilder knocks out Joshua. I don't know if Randy Weese is going to come into the mix, but we'll see. I know if Tyson Fury was talking to one of my rival podcasts, arch enemy Ariel Helwani. He was on his podcast, and he was talking about how he only has a couple fights left, and he's a simple man, and he would just like to sit back and retire after he ends his contract. And honestly, with the head damage of boxing, I don't mind that. He can do whatever he wants. He's world champion. Literally world champion, just dethroned Deontay Wilder. So he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's the goddamn Gypsy King. And he came out, literally, females were dressed up to the nines, carrying his ass on a goddamn throne. It was beautiful, and I liked it. I like to see Wilder come back because I know he's a beast in his own right. I don't want to see any cross MMA, them going to MMA guys call him out. I know Conor did it, but he's a very one-of-a-kind fighter. So we saw Stipe call out Tyson Fury. We saw Francis Ngannou call out Tyson Fury. Why are we calling him out? That's not your sport. You'd get pieced up. He just pieced up Deontay Wilder. What are you doing? No, you don't just go and you don't just get title fights just because you're the world champion of freaking UFC. Because honestly, I don't know if you'd beat the world champion of freaking kickboxing. Like, just stay in your lane, focus on the champion. Stipe, I'm still waiting for a fight. What's going to happen? Are we going to get the rematch? Are we going to fight Daniel Cormier? I don't think really Daniel Cormier deserves it. I mean, Francis, we can get the rematch on that. A lot of excitement, but Wilder Fury, I was very happy. I had Fury going in. I know it was plus 400 for the Fury knockout, and that's crazy that happened. I'm happy that Wilder's corner threw in the towel because it was getting ugly. I don't know if he would have gone down, but he definitely, his life expectancy would have been reduced by a couple of days. But I'm very happy with that. It made me want to watch boxing, and I'm going to be tuning in to see what the hell the next couple fights are. Shout out Lomachenko. That dude is a fucking beast, and I really want to see him fight Gervonta Davis. I know Gervonta Davis goes, weird logic. He goes, yeah, I know these older fighters want to fight the up-and-comers while they're young and not while they're in their prime. But if you think about it, as soon as the younger fighter gets in their prime and the older fighter, he's now out of his prime. So that's a stupid logic, and I don't really appreciate that. I really want them to fight right now because Gervonta Davis looks like a fucking pit bull assassin, and Lomachenko is a goddamn Ukrainian folk dancer. He'll dance around your face and then close it. So we'll see that. That's my opinion on that. But now, UFC Auckland, New Zealand, the Kiwis. I can't wait to talk about this one. So UFC Auckland happened last night. I was very happy. How can I not talk about the main event? The main event really talks about why I watch UFC. What a fucking banger it was. I was getting texts beforehand who I thought was going to win. I thought Paul Felder was going to win going into it. I went to UFC Milwaukee, and I saw Dan Hooker get absolutely pieced up by Edson Barboza. I know Paul Felder and Edson just fought, so they have like a little three-way going. But I thought Paul Felder, since he's just he's got the Philly cheesesteak grit in him, I thought he was going to pull it out. And honestly, I think it did pull him out. They were going back and forth. I'm talking Hooker stayed on the outside. He's got that range, so obviously he's sticking on the outside, eating that leg for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Paul Felder wanted to get on the outside, and the thing I commend Paul Felder for was, since Hooker had the outside, he said, fuck your outside range, I'm going in. Very similar to Fury. He said, fuck your range, I'm going in. If I get hit, I get hit, but you're going to get hit too, motherfucker. I didn't really agree with the scorecard. I had Felder winning 2, 4, and 5 for the 48 47, but I'm not mad. I understand that was Hooker's hometown. I might have seen some fishies, some salmon creeping up in the judge's scorecard, potentially, but I'm not screaming bloody murder about it. But last night, 2 fucking warriors went to bat. Hooker in front of his hometown. A lot of pressure. I mean, a lot of people think hometown advantage, but that's a lot of pressure. I mean, look what happened to Darren Till. Darren Till gets flatlined by Jorge Masvidal, Fighter of the Year, in front of his hometown. He's like, fuck it, I don't want to fight in front of my hometown. So Hooker fights in front of his hometown. Kiwis are going nuts. They're booing Paul Felder. Why are we booing Paul Felder? What a class act. That Philly Irish motherfucking dragon. And he turned heel. It was amazing. Paul Felder showed nothing but respect. And they went to war. Fucking bloody. Very minimal wrestling. Very minimal wrestling. They just wanted to punch each other in the motherfucking face. And I'm not saying that's why I watch UFC, to watch people punch each other in the motherfucking face. But it definitely helps the entertainment value. And it helps me try to get friends that don't watch into the game. And I think what made me appreciate the sport was afterwards. They originally read the scorecards, and I was like, fuck this. I was pissed, because I'm still coming off motherfucking Joe Solis's shenanigans. And when they read the scorecards for Hooker, I'm like, this is bullshit. What the hell is happening? And then they interviewed Paul Felder, and I was like, oh, I'd so be pissed if I was Paul Felder. And he goes, I just want to thank Dan Hooker and have the honor of sharing the octagon with him. And I was like, Paul Felder is a better dude than I am, because I would have been fucking livid if I went out to foreign country and battled my heart out and got it. I thought the decision was wrong, but he wanted to thank everybody, and he did do a retirement indication. I don't know if he's walking away. I hope he doesn't. I understand it. He's getting older, but everyone likes Paul Felder. If he does retire, I do want to see him cage side for a long, long time, because he shows absolute emotion, and I do appreciate that. Now, for my boy Hooker, the Hangman, who, I mean, he had to do a lot of things right to win the fight, because it's not like he just stood there and got robbed. He did control the pace from the outside. He set the range, and he made Felder adjust it. And he got a couple takedowns. That one at the end in the 5th round, I wouldn't have given it, because he didn't do... He literally laid and prayed. So he gets the takedown, holds on to it, and just prays that Felder doesn't get up. It was all right. I mean, he got the 2. He got the 2 for the takedown, but I'm not giving him any credit. I do want Hooker... He called out Justin Gaethje, and that shit makes sense to me. Because Gaethje, that son of a bitch. Gaethje, he's coming off... Edson. I was there when he knocked out Edson in Philadelphia. It was crazy, in March of last year. So Edson comes off beating Hooker in Milwaukee. Then Edson turns around and gets knocked out by Gaethje in Philly. And then freaking Edson fights Paul Felder and loses by robbery. One judge gave it 30-27 to Felder, which is absolute trash. And now we can potentially get Hooker versus Gaethje, which I would see, because Gaethje's playing the Conor McGregor card. He called out Conor McGregor with Henry Cejudo. Really weird. I don't know what's going on with that partnership, but I'd like to see Hooker Gaethje. That fight makes sense. Conor's not going to fight you. Conor doesn't really respect your game. You've been talking a lot of shit. Conor's like, fuck you. Who the hell are you? He's literally German. He's Jeremy Simmons. Who the fuck is that guy? But he's going to get what his, but he's got to earn it. And just because you beat Donald Cerrone, it doesn't mean you're that special. I mean, I know Conor beat him, but I think everyone realized it ain't that. It ain't all that. It ain't that in a bag of chips. It ain't that in a breakfast stout, you know? So I would like to see Hooker versus Gaethje. And potentially, if Felder fights again, I'd want to see him fight Dustin Poirier. Because Dustin Poirier just came off that loss to Khabib, and that fight makes sense. We got the Diamond coming off the loss. We got Paul Felder, in my opinion, won the fight. Should be ranked a little higher. Could fight Dustin Poirier, and it makes sense. And I think that's a fight that Felder can get out of bed for. So I would do that. That makes sense to me.